Hey, wait, don't do it. Don't do it. What's wrong with playing God? And how do we recognize if we're falling into that trap? What would you do if you were God for a day? If you were God, how would you change the world? I have the answer, so stick around. That's coming up next. In the book of Genesis chapter 3, Satan came in the form of a snake, and he tempted Eve to eat the fruit from the tree that God said was forbidden. This is what it says in verse 4. "You won't die," the serpent replied to the woman. "God knows that your eyes will be opened as soon as you eat it, and you will be like God, knowing both good and evil." Up to that point, Adam and Eve knew of no evil. There was no evil. The world only knew peace and joy and happiness at that time. But Satan put the temptation into the mind of Eve that she would be wise like God. That was an enticing thought for Eve. And she gave in to temptation, and she and Adam both ate from the forbidden tree. So, ever since the beginning of time, mankind has had the desire to be like God. So what's the first sign we tend to have to play God? We tend to want to do things our way, and we want everybody else to see things our way. I heard a story one time of a mother trying to get her little Johnny to eat his carrots. She was at her wit's end because she had tried everything to get him to eat. So she thought about this, and she decided to tell little Johnny, "Don't eat those carrots." So what did he do? He ate them. Why? Because at 2 years old, this little boy was declaring that he was going to do things his way. He learned very early to play God. And just like that little boy, we often want our way. Why? Because we're convinced we're right. When we think we're right, we tend to want our way because that's the only way. And we end up playing God. We're right and the other person is wrong. And if the other person is wrong enough, we want to call down the judgment from God. In Luke chapter 9, verse 53 and 54, we're told, "But the people of the village did not welcome Jesus because he was on his way to Jerusalem. When James and John saw this, they said to Jesus, 'Lord, should we call down fire from heaven to burn them up?' But Jesus turned and he rebuked them." Notice, they meant well, but at the moment, James and John wanted the privilege of calling down fire. Why? Because they wanted to play God. I'm glad I'm not God. I'm glad I don't have that privilege of calling fire down on somebody, because just like you, I probably would. There are people right now I can think of that I would love to zap. Now, there's a part of each one of us that we would love to call down fire from heaven on people's heads. When we start telling others about how terrible another person is, we're playing God. Another way we play God is by judging others. It's not our place to judge others. Yes, we can recognize a tree by the type of fruit it bears, but that's as far as it goes. There is only one judge, and that is God. He will judge, and he will do it rightly and justly. The Bible actually tells us to become like God. Did you know that? But there's a big difference in playing God and being like God. We are to pattern our lives after Jesus Christ. Paul writes, "Be imitators of me as I am of Christ." And that's in 1 Corinthians chapter 11. In other words, Paul sought to imitate Christ. He asked to be like him, to be like God. And he wrote that God wants us to do the same thing. Jesus is the God that we can imitate. In fact, Jesus said that was part of the reason he came. "For even the Son of Man came not to be served, but to serve others, and to give his life a ransom for many." That's in Matthew chapter 20. John 3 and 17 says, "For God did not send his Son into the world to condemn the world, but that the world through him might be saved." He's God and we're not. He's in charge and we're not. So don't talk about others, don't judge others, don't get revenge toward others. The Bible declares that revenge belongs to God, it's not us. We are God's creation and He owns us. That means He's God and you're not. In Isaiah chapter 45 verse 22, God says it this way, "Let all the world look to me for salvation, for I am God and there is no other." Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then hit that thumbs up button. Don't forget to check out my other videos and drop me a comment below. I would love to hear from you. In the meantime, look at others through the eyes of Christ and love, don't judge.
Well, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, then click the subscribe button below. Click the bell so you'll be notified when a new video is posted. God bless, and we'll see you next time when you join Pastor David at the coffee house.